Yeah. So great question. So Johan, you know, food delivery with drones doesn't exist in a city like Shenzhen, and it will probably never exist because I cannot imagine drones flying around the skyscrapers everywhere. That's probably something that will never happen. Actually, drones themselves, Chinese government, and I don't know if this is well-known fact, but sometimes people think, oh yeah, like Chinese government, they just like support everything and even crazy things and crazy ideas. Actually, Chinese government is very strict because at the beginning when the drones were kind of picking up and everybody was buying drone, then people in China, unfortunately, they do crazy stuff. They would fly around airports, etc. So basically the Chinese government banned it completely, and there is maybe few areas in Shenzhen where you can legally like fly a drone. So basically, it's actually heavily regulated business, I would say, especially in the big cities like Shenzhen. Of course, if you go to the rural area or if you go to the smaller city, probably nobody cares so much. Yes, I would say, but in Shenzhen, no. When it comes to the COVID, I didn't see it like personally, but I saw videos of drones, especially in Wuhan, where all this craziness started. They were using drones on the streets to disinfect the whole streets. That was kind of like I would say like viral videos all over the internet that they were using big drones. Like I don't know if they were DJI drones or some other brand, but they were using huge drones to disinfect all the streets, etc. To basically, because of course they were very, everybody was very scared at the beginning what's this virus is all about, right? So they were basically taking this extreme measures, and they were using drone technology for that. What I would say, which is something that is maybe not as groundbreaking, but it's definitely something that has helped a lot within the COVID crisis and managing the COVID crisis and making sure that actually everybody stays at home. They don't have to go to the supermarket, is really this ecosystem of the food delivery and grocery delivery in China, right? Because I don't know how this is done in Europe right now, because things change very quickly, and I don't want to say that we don't have this in Europe. But when I was there 5 years ago, everything is by car, right? And now they started maybe doing bikes, and they have these Walt companies that deliver by bikes. But in China, they all have e-bikes, right? So what they do, they have this extremely efficient last mile delivery system that you order something now and it's delivered to you within 30 minutes or less. And it's because they have all these e-bikes and they have all these guys that are kind of like running around. They have assigned specific area of the city, and they will pick up stuff from a restaurant, from a grocery store, or from some warehouse, JD warehouse, and they will deliver right away. And I think this is something that really helped to manage the COVID crisis, because if it didn't exist like this, people would still be going out to supermarkets. They would be like, stressing out, hey, where do I buy food, right? But because they have this, and they had pretty good kind of even supply chain management for the groceries and stuff, that like they didn't really run out for like three days or 4 days. They maybe run out for a day, but then they would have the supplies. And so that's why they were able to manage this pretty quickly. Of course, there is a downside, honestly, and maybe you have heard about it. And that's, they have all these guys on the bikes, but the system is so efficient, or is really trying to cut every single minute from the delivery, that sometimes those guys, though, they do crazy stuff, so they don't really follow the rules. They kind of drive around, and like sometimes it's pretty dangerous because they don't really follow the roads, but they will go where the pedestrians go as well, just to avoid the green light, the red light, whatever. So basically, this is one of the downsides of this technology, which probably will never be applied like this in Europe, because of course, I guess we care much more about I would say the safety and even, let's say, the rights of the employees, etc. But that's something that is happening here, and it's highly discussed topic, and so that's one thing. And for the EHang, right? So yeah, EHang is one of those companies that was actually recently listed in the US, I think. So they're quite established. I don't think they're in operations, honestly. I don't think that they're really flying around. I have never really seen it, flying around. What the Chinese government is doing, and this is also pretty, crazy in a sense, right? And this is probably China and few other countries in the world can probably afford this, or can do this, is China is basically building up new cities, right? And so you will go beyond Guangzhou, which is a huge city, and they will be in a different district which is 50 kilometers away from the city center, and they will build completely new city, and they call it, this is the smart city, let's say 2.0, whatever we want to call it. And so that city is designed from scratch for these autonomous vehicles, for these autonomous, let's say drones, or even for anything that, we're kind of struggling to put into the existing systems. But China is really taking this approach. Okay, we need to build cities anyways. We need to get people out of Beijing, because there is 50 million people in Beijing. It's just impossible to live there anymore, right? So it's too congested. So we need to get people out. We need to create more cities, more urban areas. And when we're doing so, why don't we use the new technologies and make it much more efficient, more safe? Because of course, if you have a city where only autonomous vehicles can drive and they have separate lines, then of course it's 100% safe. That there's probably not going to be, or maybe there is going to be some sort of risk, but the risk is 10 times or 100 times lower than trying to put autonomous vehicle into a normal traffic. So this is actually pretty interesting type of stuff that China is doing, and you hear quite a lot about it these days.
Can you repeat the name of the city, please?
So Guangzhou is a big city, and they have a specific district next to it, but there is a few of them. So I would have to search it. I need to search it, and maybe I can send it to you later, because I don't remember exactly the Chinese names of the new cities, but there is a few of them. One is near Beijing on the north, and one is here in the south near Guangzhou. And then there is a couple others, but I need to find the real names because I don't remember exactly.